2015 Chinese government trying first testing to Islamic world first, because forbidden fasting, you know, and also collected Quran, collected primates, and burden Quran even, you know, step by step forbidden Islamic name as well. We're talking on this issue to the world. Really not really serious international attention for this.
For us, maybe we are very few people. We don't have a power like Tawud China has. But subhanallah with us. We are on the right path, and we can bring our message to them to force them to come out, speak about this genocide.
I got one message from Urumqi, Turkestan. There is one high-level Chinese government official meeting. During the meeting, discuss my case, saying Dolkun opens a restaurant in Beijing. Actually, it's not the restaurant; it is international information exchanging service. Just blame me, you know.
You can just look on the online, find the data. For example, the 4 days event here in London, Uyghur Tribunal, was streamed live on every channel. It's still online. You can make your own judgment.
We call all human beings, particularly Muslim brothers, because most of the Muslim countries continue silence, and not only silence, some Muslim countries support China. This is unacceptable. This is the complicity of the crime. This world, well, we believe Akhirat, next world, and how they can give the answer for the Allah.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We've got a really special unscripted podcast for you today. We got the President and the Inspector General of the World Uyghur Congress. SubhanAllah, while we're in town for the Uyghur Tribunal, this is the representative body of all the Uyghurs diaspora around the world, SubhanAllah. That's President Dolkun Isa and Inspector General Abdulhakim Idris. We speak about the history of the brothers themselves, the World Uyghur Congress itself, and we talk about this special Uyghur Tribunal that's just finished its first round of hearings in Westminster, London, just this week. Before we begin, just a quick reminder, if you want to be notified of any future uploads, remember to click the subscribe and the bell notification button. And if you like this podcast, remember to give us a like and a share, and give your feedback in the comments below. And also, if you want to support the Islam 21C, an unscripted podcast as well, please do consider donating £5 a month at the website below. Without further ado, here we go. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Dolkun Isa and Abdulhakim Idrisi. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much for joining us.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much.
I know you're both very busy with your trip to London this time round for the Uyghur Tribunal, and we want to talk about that and a bit get to know yourselves as well. One of the problems I've had with you two is you're very humble, mashallah tabarakallah. So that's why I've got both of you on. Each one can talk about the other one, and to avoid talking about yourself too much. Mashallah tabarakallah. So well, let's just start off by maybe getting to know you both. Dolkun Isa, I mentioned that you're the president of the World Uyghur Congress.
Yes.
When did you start your kind of activist career, so to speak?
Well, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for inviting us here today. As you say, my name Dolkun Isa. I'm the president of World Uyghur Congress. I'm the Uyghur Muslim. My activism started very early, more than 30 years ago, when I was a student's time. And I was a student in Xinjiang, so-called Xinjiang University, in 1984 to 88. That time, and when I was a student, we formed Students' Cultural Science Union. Propose educated all people, because 75-80% Uyghurs are analphabetic. Rural area people cannot read, cannot write. So we're trying to Uyghur students mobilize during the summer, winter holiday time and send students to rural area teaching of people. This is the main purpose. But Chinese government, when we start it, and China, we've had faced a lot of barrier, a lot of problems with the Chinese government. Then when I enrolled the university, I realized so many discrimination, daily discrimination. It is not only against international law, even also against the Chinese own constitution and the autonomic law as well. So, and in 1988, we held big demonstration, Chinese government discrimination policy against the Uyghurs. Then I was house arrested. Then later time, it was my last semester on the university. I was kicked out from the university. I was not able to graduate. So, and in 1994 I left. So that's mean my activism start when I was teenagers time. Yes.
MashaAllah, a lot of people, young people are very powerful generally in terms of the movements that young people can start. And Brother Abdulhakim was mentioning that you were part of the group that led how many thousands of students?
That time, in 1985, first students demonstration was happening. That more than 20,000 students was joining. Then 1988 was the more than 8,000 students were joining us. Yes. Yes.
Abdulhakim, were you with Mr. Dolkun Isa during that time as well?
No, I first met with him, luckily, 1996 in Germany.
MashaAllah. So you mentioned about the youth organizations you first kind of established and were part of. What's the trajectory after that? So are those youth organizations you helped kind of get off the ground, get more kind of people aware of their rights, even underneath under the Chinese autonomous kind of law, and then you were exiled.
Yes.
Pretty much. What happened after that?
Well, 1988, I was kicked out of university. Then I moved to the Beijing, and I studied English and the Turkish language, Beijing Foreign Language University. And after 2 years, then I opened a small restaurant in Beijing. So many foreign tourist students, because in Beijing, so many European students, Arabic students, and Muslim students, around and so many tourists also. Uyghur food very delicious, Uyghur cuisine very delicious. So quite a lot of foreigners coming to my restaurant, eating. And I had a lot of foreign friends that time. We are talking about the Uyghur history, and we are talking, because most of some people don't know who is the Uyghur. So I trying to explain them, we are not Chinese. We have our own language. Our country has been occupied. I trying to explain this. So I had a lot of foreign friends. I didn't know that time, but later I realized I was monitoring all the time by the Beijing police. And in 1994, spring, beginning of 1994, and the Beijing police and had asked me to come to asked several questions, and why so many foreigners come to use the restaurant. I said, wow, it's all Uyghur, because Uyghur food is very delicious. Yes, very delicious. Because this police also all the time coming to my restaurant eating. Don't pay, Don't pay. Because you are coming to my restaurant as well. Well, and why you asked me this? Oh, we are asking not only you, we are asking because one street is more than 10 Uyghur restaurants. And all Uyghur restaurants, all boss, and have the same situation. Okay, but when I came and I asked some other Uyghur restaurant boss, no, we didn't have any question by the police. I thought, Then later time.
You thought maybe it's your history.
It is, yes. So, and later, I got one message from Ürümqi, Turkestan. There is one high-level Chinese government official meeting. During the meeting, discuss my case, saying Dolkun opens a restaurant in Beijing. Actually, it is not the restaurant. It is international information exchanging service. Just blame me,
Sorry to interrupt, brother and sister, but just a quick reminder: if you do like this podcast, give a like and a share. Get it to more eyeballs, inshallah, to get this important message out.
Then I got, Dolkun is dangerous. If possible, you can leave. But I don't have a passport. it is not easy to get passport in China. And my residence, and in Aksu, my hometown, this authority never give me the passport because my name is on already blacklist on China. But in China, if you have money, you can do everything. It's a very corrupted government. I stay 4 years in Beijing. I have a lot of Chinese friends as well. And I earn a little bit money. Then very quickly, within a couple of weeks, then I manage one passport. Then beginning of May, I left. I came to the Turkey. That time in Turkey is not much Uyghurs, not much Uyghur youngs, but at least 70, 80 Uyghur students study here. Most of them is my schoolmate, classmate in the Turkestan. They are joining a demonstration. When I came, then we gathering all Uyghur students together. Then we established East Turkestan Students and Youth Organization. Then we organize a conference. We organize demonstration. We start a youth movement. This is something like following activism from East Turkestan. But Turkish government also a little bit not really trying to stop us, but we had some problem, you know. So because China's pressure is getting stronger to Turkish government as well. Then some of that time in Germany, Abdulhakim was in the Germany. In Germany has a East Turkestan Union for Europe. First Uyghur organization in Western country was established in Germany. Because rest of some European country at that time really no Uyghur community. Very few Uyghur community was exist.
Is it because it's hard to get out of East Turkestan as well without passports and?
Exactly. Yeah. Then 1996, and our friends who Abdulhakim and some other Ömer Kanat, we met in Turkey. I met Ömer. He asked me, please come to the Germany, and we can do our work in the Germany. Then 1996, I came to the Germany and I met Abdulhakim. That time, whole Germany, maybe 50, 60 people, not too much. And 1996 November, we invite all Uyghur youth delegation around the world.
MashaAllah.
In November 1996, then we hold 4 days meeting, cultural gathering, and political discussion. Then finally, and we decide we have to set up one political umbrella representative organization of Uyghur youth. Then we set up East Turkestan World Uyghur Youth Congress, and I was the elected executive chairman. Ömer Kanat was the elected president. Abdulhakim is the director of the foundation. Yeah.
So this is the 25 years ago. 25 years ago. You started as with Uyghur Youth Congress.
Exactly.
And then that turned into the World Uyghur Congress.
Yes, it is 1996 and the World Uyghur Youth Congress. Then 1999, East Turkestan National Congress was happening in Munich as well. Then there's 2 umbrella organization head office both in Munich, and the 2 organizations sometimes we competition, sometimes cooperation. Then finally, in 2003, Chinese government called World Uyghur Youth Congress as a terrorist organization officially, and put my name also terrorist list. Until that time, is Uyghur cause was not very familiar. Then we decided World Uyghur Youth Congress, East Turkestan National Congress leadership coming together decided we have to set up one representative body for the East Turkestan people, East Turkestan movement. Then we are preparing around 1 year's preparation. We start 2003. Then 2004 April, 2 Congress delegation from around the world gathering in Munich. Then we hold 4 days long meeting. Then finally, under all Uyghur diaspora representative organization representative gathering, and then finally, and we merge together, and we call one united organization.
MashaAllah.
This is the World Uyghur Congress. Yes.
So the World Uyghur Congress is the largest or the kind of main official representative body of the Uyghur diaspora.
It is.
And
Yes.
who is it made up of? How many countries are involved, and how do you operate your Are you elected by kind of local bodies?
Yes,
or?
World Uyghur Congress is the only the representative body of the East Turkestan and the movement. And in Exile, we have huge executive committee members, around 33 executive committee members from 18 countries.
18
country. This World Uyghur Congress leadership should be elected by the delegation. First, the delegation from 18 country, last General Assembly 100, more than 110 delegation from 18 country. This all delegation was elected by the Uyghur diaspora, Uyghur organization and the Uyghur community. They are elected delegation. This elected delegation attending the General Assembly. Then this elected delegation elected the World Uyghur Congress their leadership. This is the structure. Every 3 years we have one General Assembly. And normally we should hold General Assembly last year November because of the pandemic. We've postponed. Hopefully 7th General. So far we have already held 6th General Assembly. And 7th General Assembly should be, we are planning to hold this year, end of this year.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Just a quick thing, but you mentioned that China designated you as a terrorist.
It is.
Is that, what year was that?
It is actually Chinese government put my name to the Interpol list 1997.
Because the reason I ask is because this I thought that this language of using terrorism and stuff came after the US war on terror,
exactly.
and that China just kind of absorbed that narrative and that discourse as it's being done in Middle East, Gulf states, and even Pakistan and China and other places, just using the terrorist label with all the discourse to squash legitimate calls for rights and holding governments to account. So you're saying this was happening before the war on terror started?
Yeah, Chinese government put my name to the Interpol red notes. This is 1997. That time China didn't use this term, terrorist term.
Okay. Yeah.
China first started to use this term, this language up to September 11 terrorist attack. Before blame Uyghur activism separatism or religious fundamentalists, something like pan-Turks, pan-Islam, this kind of level. When the Chinese government blame me and puts my name to the Interpol, that time murder, criminal gone, But 2003, up to September 11, and the September attack, Chinese government immediately changed the language within one night. Then all the Uyghur activism, so-called terrorism. So, and 2002, Chinese government first time blame East Turkestan Islamic movement as a terrorist organization. Then 2003, call another 3 organization. And plus item, East Turkestan Islam. World Uyghur Youth Congress, East Turkestan Information Center, and East Turkestan Liberation Organization. This all 4 11 people. Then start 2003, Chinese government blame me terrorist. Blame me terrorist. So, but that time, nobody know who's the Uyghurs, And the World Uyghur Congress was not established. World Uyghur Youth Congress, we had really a lot of problems we had faced because China is a big country. Just put your terrorist, this is a terrorist organization. Then a lot of suspicion. If we are attending some conference somewhere, is people square, and also a lot of background check. Background checks. A lot of door is closed to us. But we have never lost of hope. We continue fighting all right. And finally my red notice was delayed. But it was taken 21 years. 2018 February, we are fighting a lot until delayed this red notes. I was detained so many country border, and I had faced it, deported to China. But finally, luckily, 2018, this red notice was delayed. But China continue blame as a terrorist. Continue blame terrorist. Yes.
So, Abdulhakim, what are some of the activities of World Uyghur Congress then? Other than being the official representatives of the Uyghurs around the world, What are some of the things that you do?
The World Uyghur Congress represented of the East Turkestan people.
Mm-hmm.
It works like a government,
Mm-hmm.
like a state. We don't have army or administration or ministries, but we do one state for their country. We do advocacy, diplomatic work. We educated our people. We teaching our culture, history, religion, and as a Uyghur nation, you know what a state needed. For example, a World Uyghur Congress explained how look like independent is Turkestan, and how will their relationship with its neighbors, with the Islamic world, with the Western, with the universal treaties in under the UN treaty. Those are we are studying. We are preferring as like a we will our end
Like
game is
a government in waiting.
yes, and waiting, and we luckily right now doing our job good. But this last this ongoing genocide, it's more getting our attention because it's big and it's imaginable tragedy right now.
What do you think of the podcast so far? Agree? Disagree about anything? Let us know in the comments below. I mean, I first, we didn't know about Uyghurs growing up either. And we found out first, I think, in 2014 about what's going on. And since then, we started publishing and getting people to write articles in the Psalm 21C on a regular basis. But it's only in the last few years that it's become more and more widespread. And I think this trajectory is, from what I understand, looking at the, what the testimony of witnesses at the Uyghur Tribunal recently, which I wanted to get onto. They said that the policy of the Chinese state, Chinese Communist Party, has taken a kind of accelerated towards a more vicious, more violent genocidal policies. Before it was kind of a bit more subtle, cultural kind of assimilationist agenda to remove the Uyghur culture. And the sisters were saying, and Uyghur sisters that I spoke to were saying, we grew up in communist schools. They were taking our Islamic identity out slowly, and our cultural markers and the symbols of Islam and identity and so forth. That was happening for a long time, but recently this acceleration towards preventing them even having more children, preventing them even learning their language, learning about their Islam, confiscating the Qur'ans, rewriting the Qur'ans, like they were saying, a more Chinese a Qur'an more palatable to the Chinese Communist Party, and this is where it became more and more kind of, the news became more and more widespread for us and generally around the world. And this is where the Uyghur Tribunal now comes in. So the Chinese state has been denying these things, and it has a very strict kind of grip on the information that comes out of East Turkestan, what it calls Xinjiang province. But what if you could just explain in your own words, what is the Uyghur Tribunal and why is it significant now at this point in time?
Well, as you said, this atrocity was not new for the Uyghurs in Turkestan. And this atrocity, the Chinese government's assimilation policy towards Uyghurs start since occupation. East Turkestan has been occupied in 1949. So Chinese government's policy towards the Uyghurs, assimilation and discrimination, this policy has never changed. But Xi Jinping took the power since 2014. This assimilation policy turned into genocidal policy. And 2016, China's government locked down more than 3 million people to concentration camp. We know that all the Uyghurs who live in exile, I personally, my family disappeared, Abdulhakim family disappeared. All the Uyghurs who live in United States, UK, Turkey around the world, we couldn't get contact with them. From 2016, end of 2016, then most of some Uyghur lost contact. We are trying to Chinese intention to the international. We know very well because Chinese government's intention is completely eradicated Uyghurs' identity and religious identity and eradicated Uyghur as a people. This is very clear intention. So we are trying to raise this issue to the United Nations, European institution, European Parliament, United States, around the world. But until 2018, very few international media attention or some country use very soft way condemning China.
Yeah.
But people is dying. People is dying. Time to time we got heartbreaking news. I got my mother died in the concentration camp. Next day my another friends, brothers, sisters disappeared, died. We got horrible news. We couldn't sleeping. You know? And 2016, 2015, Chinese government trying first testing to Islamic world first, because forbidden fasting, you know, and also collected Quran, collected primates, and burden Quran even, you know, step by step forbidden Islamic name as well. We're talking on this issue to the world. Really not really serious international attention for this. Yeah? And well, we know, and this atrocity, discrimination problem exists around the world. But you cannot compare it. At least, even you cannot grow up your bird. If you birth such a bird in Uzbekistan, you will be terrorist. Immediately put in camp. Yeah? And the Uyghur woman, we are Muslim. We cannot head scare. Hijab is completely forbidden, even head scare. You know, even long dress. Chinese government is and intervene your all daily life. What you eat, even forbidden halal. This term is forbidden as well. And all restaurant is a halal restaurant. Halal. This sign must be taken out. You cannot use the halal. Chinese government Xi Jinping 2017 saying Islam compatible for Chinese Communist Party. Standardization. Yes, standardization. This policy, then we are trying under no international reaction. So we are thought, Chinese government's intention is to commit genocide against Uyghur. We know that. Some countries condemning this United Nations level, but situation very seriously. If we not take concrete action, if China not hold accountable for the international law, then it's maybe Uyghurs another 10 years or another 5 years will be disappeared. This is the Chinese intention. So that's why we are talking quite a lot of international lawyer. We are talking a lot of the judge and human rights organization, and how we can do it this work, how we can China hold accountable for the crime, for its crime. Then and finally we talk. We start this work 2018. We took several legal organization and lawyer. And finally, we are approaching Jeffrey Nice, very famous UK lawyer.
He was the lead prosecutor in the trial of Slobodan Milosevic, the butcher of the Balkans.
Yes. So, and at the beginning, we trying to convince him. We submit so much document to him, maybe more than 5,000 page document. You know, everything. We do a lot of research. Then finally, and he thought, and the situation really serious. Then 2020 June, end of June, World Uyghur Congress is officially recused to Jeffrey Nice to the allegation to this tribunal. Then he review our application, and at this within 2-3 months, Then beginning of September last year, he officially announced the setup of Uyghur Tribunal. Yeah, this is the history of the tribunal. As you know, in the 4th of June it start and it's, until from
So
June.
I mean, this weekend gone, we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days. People are coming, giving evidence, witnesses, victims of concentration camps. Some very harrowing stories. We were covering it. I was there on one of the days, and we were watching the live streams as well. Some academics showing their peer-reviewed research, about. And you even had a former Chinese police witness as well. What do you hope to achieve with this in this tribunal? Because some people said, it doesn't have any state backing. I mean, I would argue that's a good thing because no one can accuse it of being biased to any state. It's completely independent. But once and there's another set of hearings in September, inshallah. Once you have this tribunal finished, what do you hope to achieve?
We hope this tribunal to give a decision the genocide and the against the crime against humanity. Of course, as you said, this tribunal no Biden power, no state power. This tribunal no army, no police, nothing. But this tribunal and set up according to international law. Some country and commit genocide. Is 21st century. So after hearing, if the tribunal give a decision, this is genocide, then it is the big and very influential legal prospect, legal reference. Then and the politician, international organization have a legal prospect, have a legal reference to push the government to take action.
So it's a truth-finding mission to establish beyond reasonable doubt the facts of what's happening on the ground. Then this can be taken to governments, parliaments, companies, even to.
No, is that some countries saying, "Oh, we don't have a legal legal prospect, we don't have a legal document." This is a genocide. Not it must be some court decision. So even Boris Johnson, Prime Minister UK, also a couple of weeks ago, he made a statement saying, well, this is the court, must be court decision. Because someone asking, saying, is a Chinese government, you agree, is a commit genocide against Uyghurs? He's saying, this must be,
That's
so
that's for a court to decide.
Exactly, so court decide. So court and give decide, then Boris Johnson also cannot silence. Quite a lot of countries, leader cannot be silent. No excuse to silence,
Subhanallah. I mean, Abdulhakim, what has the reaction been from the Chinese state?
Alhamdulillah, Chinese state, responding our Uyghur Tribunal, what we had here. We had very, very brave sisters.
Allahu Akbar.
Imagine your or my own sister or come out and says what happened to her in this concentration camps for them from the gang rape and destruction her souls. And still, coming out and says what happened to her. And the Chinese Communist government, I think, to held today a press conference with the relatives of survivor of the camps. They testified here in Uyghur Tribunal. This is, for us, maybe we are very few people. We don't have a power like Taghut China has. But subhanallah with us. We are on the right path and we can bring our message to them to force them to come out, speak about this genocide too. That's what's happening in those days. And I say, you asked my president, my friend and the brother Dolkun, from his activism to this genocide. As you see, he's a very humble person, but he's very focused. I saw him when he first came to Germany. He did asylum. Many people may know how to make an asylum and be in the asylum things, you will lose your mind. You're just concentrating on what you get. But his main issue was how to organize this movement, how to bring to life. He cooked sometimes, and then this asylum, what we call in Germany lager, the food, bring his wife. But at the time, he was organizing events. He never lost his way. And when he began in Germany, he delivered. He was like a delivery guy for Pizza Hut. He worked in the evening in the Pizza Hut. In the days, worked for this cause.
From Pizza Hut delivery to president.
Well, what I want to say is, if you believe in one cause, our cause is not just human rights cause. That's not Uyghur rights cause. It's Islamic cause. We are apart from Muslim. It's Islamic issue. It's what we call fard for us to do is. I saw his commitment for this job, and right now we have around the world more than 70 organizations everywhere, and I saw how he is invested in his colleague, his people, and right now we can collect the data, do the Discord here, and do around the world this advocacy job. And what we hope from our brother and sister hearing this podcast, and spreading this tragedy for everywhere. You can just look on the online, find the data. For example, the 4 days event here in London, Uyghur Tribunal, was streamed live on every channel. It's still online. You can make your own judgment. What the Chinese communist regime conducting war, declaring war on Islam, says the religion of Islam is disease.
Virus.
Look, it's Islam is a virus. Says. And they openly burning copy of Qurans, turning masjid to the bars, to dancing place. This is the Quran, and the masjid is Quran is Kitab Allah, Book of Allah. Masjid is Baytullah. What we do ibadat. It's not to belong to Uyghur people. It's belong to every Muslim. What I want to say, it's the obligation every Muslim to stand up. This atrocity is never seen before. There was war between Muslims, Christian, Jewish, and other people. That was war between the people. But the CCP, what they're trying to do is war against entire religion of Islam religion.
Just a quick reminder, brothers and sisters, if you do want to support the Uyghurs or any other Muslim brothers and sisters suffering around the world, please do visit our charity partner, One Ummah Charity, on the link below somewhere. What's your message to those people who maybe they see the Chinese propaganda on Twitter, and whenever we post something, there's always some fake account that only, started a few days ago saying, oh, this is all fake. There's no such thing as concentration camps and all this stuff. What do you say to those Muslims who are watching, who begin to share these conspiracy theories?
China continually denied everything. No excuse to continue silence, or Chinese government continue denied, because so many camp survivor, even this hearing time also, camp survivor telling a horrible story. Yes, so many camp survivor testimony, and like BBC documentary and Sky News, Al Jazeera, they have made very excellent documentary. Even Chinese government organized sometimes propaganda tour, invite some foreign journalists. Chinese government shows them better place, creating place, theater, everything, but still this the foreign journalists then recovering something, and
they don't let them go to the concentration camps.
So documentary, and also independent research institutes report, and leaked document, for example, New York Times, Chinese Kabul, Karakash list, Aksu list. This all evidence is very clearly what's going on. So now is China too late to hiding the reality. But no way. China says big country, and look that in the more than millions people, 3 million people. How many people was killed, we don't know. How China saying, oh, I'm sorry, she cannot say, it's a big country, you know. But no international pressure, really high international pressure, Chinese government. China, no, it is trying to defend the position. How survivor from it is complicity, for it is crime. That's why China continually aggressively attacked everyone. Not only World Uyghur Congress, not only Uyghur activists, not only me. Attacked today's foreign diplomat, research institute, and European Parliament member, UK Parliament member, even independent expert ever. Because China really is really under panic. If someone is under panic, they are doing a lot of mistake. China is continuing making mistake. One side, China says this tribunal is nothing, not legal basis. But other day, even today, they are and they organized and one press conference. These camp survivors, they are collected all camp survivor relatives. No, just a couple of 1 hour before, they hold the press conference, trying to deny. 1 year ago, Chinese government forced my elder sister speaking against me. She denied me because they don't have a choice. So China now is trying to survive. How can defend themselves? But it's too late. So I would like to say, some people saying, oh, this is the CIA correspondence, this is CIA game. But people's dying. People. Yeah, because I'm victims. No, it's along the 4 days, this international, this is very open court, open tribunal. Everyone can see. At least everyone who has a remnant human feeling cannot, should be silence this. So this is the Abdulhakim already saying, this is the obligation, all human being. This is the most important obligation is the Ummah, all Muslim. Because China already started war against Islam. Islamic value completely demolished, destroyed. Islam is Islam. China saying Islam should be compatible for the Chinese Communist Party. Well, but in this situation, is the Muslim leader continues silent. It is shame. It is shame. This is the all human being, particularly all Muslim Ummah, have a responsibility, obligation, should be stand with us and help us. Don't trust China's government is not we are saying, because even you already mentioned there's a tribunal, one of the Chinese police. Chinese police, he made a testimony here, you know, not only we are Uyghur. So that's why situation is really dire. Whole region already turned open air prison. We are not talking about just situations of people who suffering in the concentration camp. It's people staying not outside concentration camp. Because no one feeling safe. What will be happening next hours, next day, next week? You don't know. Without any explanation, you can take and bring to the concentration camp. And to the forced labor, organ harvesting, you know. This is all that's happening today. So that's why we call all human beings, particularly Muslim brothers, because most of the Muslim countries continue silence. And not only silence, some Muslim countries support China. This is unacceptable. This is the complicity of the crime. This world, well, we believe Akhirat, next world, and how they can give the answer for the Allah.
You know, I mean, Sheikh Abdulhakim Idris, he's the author of this book, Menace, on China's colonization of the Islamic world and the Uyghur genocide. And we're going to have Sheikh Abdulhakim on again, inshallah, to go through this in a bit more detail. I've only just managed to read the introduction and I'm hooked. So once I have a read, inshallah, more detail, we'll get you back on, inshallah. But we just wanted to organize this quick, short podcast because the president, mashallah, Mr. Dolkun, was in town. And he graciously managed to, give us some of his time between chock-a-block day full of appointments. But before you leave, I know the time is running short. We have a few minutes left. I want to get your practical advice to the Muslim brothers and sisters. What can we do? What do you want the Muslim community watching here and elsewhere in the world? What practical things do you want them to do?
Well, thank you very much. And at least today you invited us and listening us and broadcasting our voice to the Muslim brother. It is the first step, of course. And we already told, and there is in the UK huge Muslim community. Huge Muslim community. You have a very close contact the Muslim government, Muslim civil society, the country.
Yeah.
We don't have much capacity in the Uyghur Muslim. We don't can reach around the world. So this is the obligation. This is the duty. All human beings and all people should do something. So and you have a contact and civil society in the Muslim country. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Pakistan, Malaysia, everywhere. We are trying to reach to them, but we don't have such capacity. We have not the ability to do this. So, please, you will first steps to raise awareness.
Raise awareness.
Yes, raise awareness. Should the people understand? Don't believe Chinese liar, And secondly, at least every praying or particularly Juma, khutbah, make dua. This is very important. Make dua to the all people. And I know there is quite a lot of young generation. So write a letter to parliament member and the government official, prime minister should not be. And today, quite a lot of Western company, UK company, German company, US company, have a business. Okay, most of the Muslim countries company make business. China.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, make business. But no, it is not correct time business as usual. Because China, 20 years ago, this the assimilation policy was exist, but at least cannot ignore it international pressure. But no, ignore it. Why? Second big economic power. China, after the getting the second big economic power, use its money, use its power to manipulate it, then use this money to crack down to the Uyghur Muslim and even in the Chinese people as well. So money is very important. That's why some companies saying, well, it is the business. We're not involving the politics. It is not politics. People is dying. Every human being, every company have an obligation, a legal and a moral obligation to stop this. This is not correct business as usual because we cannot allow this company make money of blood of Uyghurs. Yes. So, and this people can boycott Chinese protection brands, and yes, and write letter to the company. For example, Bosch, Volkswagen, so many company, write letter to them, stop the business. This is the most important. And around the world, quite a lot of Uyghurs refugees crisis. We have in Turkey more than 60,000 Uyghurs. Some stateless already because his passports expire. Some Uyghur children was born last 4-5 years, but Chinese embassy don't give their birth certificate. They are illegal situations. They are stateless. They are stateless. That's why they cannot go to the school. They don't have health insurance. Nothing. This is the problem. So we asking the people to help the Uyghur refugees. World Uyghur Congress, we're trying to help them because we don't have such a capacity. But if the brother, sister really, because I know quite a lot of Muslim humanitarian help organization, Islamic Relief, Muslim Relief. But so far I didn't hear they help the Uyghur refugees. So if someone really want to do something, can do something. At least one people if have a free time, just one placard with use the one banner. Stop Uyghur genocide. Spend 1 hour's time in the public place. and in front of in the UK Parliament or Westminster, anywhere.
Yeah.
Stop Uyghur genocide. Or stop the business. Stop Beijing 22 Olympic. Well, every single man can do something.
Yeah. Final interruption, I promise. If you would like to support Islam 20 Unscripted, please do remember to donate £5 a month. It's only 16p a day. I believe in you. Jazakallah khair. I'm very cautious of the time. I don't want you to get late for your next point. Very important. Brothers, mashallah. I've been taking notes as well as you've been speaking. When you might not notice me on my phone, I wasn't playing a game or texting anyone. I was taking notes, and it's very important. The take-home message for me, very important that the World Uyghur Congress started off as a youth organization, and it's inspiring that that you've become united.
Yes.
Putting aside your differences, united on a focused common goal, and put that time and effort in for so many years, a few decades. And it's very important to get that across to the brothers and sisters watching as well, that people say we need Salahuddin or someone to come along, but you guys have been doing the work of the 100 years that led up to Salahuddin, for example. Inshallah. The hard work to lay the foundations. May Allah put tawfiq in your work. Secondly, the campaign, where many people know now we're running a nationwide campaign soon, inshallah. Islam Community with many organizations from the UK Muslim community. The practical things that we're going to be doing in line with what President Dolkun Isa said, raising awareness, doing strategic dua campaigns for tawfiq from Allah, khutbah, national khutbah day, lobbying MPs, sharing boycott lists for boycott, divestment and sanctions for companies and universities that deal with Chinese companies that are actively oppressing and discriminating against Uyghurs and providing the technology for that, like Huawei. So providing support financially, One Ummah charity, check it out, our charity partner, and also providing moral support, very important to the Uyghur brothers and sisters. We can be doing this online or public displays of solidarity with our Uyghur brothers and sisters, because Shaitan will come to them and say, the Muslims have forgotten you, the Muslims have left you. We all have an opportunity now to say, no, the Muslims are with you, giving moral support. And with that in mind, we're organizing a national demonstration on the 1st of July. Outside the Chinese embassy is most likely going to be. 1st of July is very important because it's the 100-year centennial, this 100-year anniversary, i.e. the centennial of the Chinese Communist Party, I'm told. And they've been preparing a lot of, celebration for that. So we need to turn up with our sign, Stop Uyghur Genocide, Stand for Uyghurs. So to be part of this and more, please visit islam20.com/Uyghurs to just put your name and email address into the form that we've created, so that you can be notified on updates on that. Without further ado,
lately I would like it's something is 26th of June this month, is 2 weeks later, International Olympic Days. Okay. Then the World Uyghur Congress and the Tibetan organization, Hong Kong's organization, we set up the coalition. We are planning to organize a worldwide demonstration that day, in the 23 of June.
Okay.
We mobilize some people to Lausanne, Switzerland, in an International Olympic Committee. Mm-hmm. But because of the pandemic, is the travel restrictions. That's why we organize same days in the Lausanne, in front of the Olympic Committee. Also, different of country, UK, Germany, United States, around the world. So, very welcome, our brother coming to this demonstration. This demonstration will be taking place in UK National Olympic Committee.
Okay.
National Olympic Committee.
So 23rd of June.
Yes.
Outside the UK National Olympics Committee.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, but we'll Google it and find out, inshallah. And we'll be there,
boycotting is the Beijing 22 Olympic. Because if Beijing Olympic be taking place, it is not Olympic Games, it's genocidal Olympic
SubhanAllah.
Games, yes.
Jazakallah khair. I don't want to make you miss your next appointment, so
Thank you.
We'll end it there, inshallah. Thank you very much to President Dolkun Isa and
my pleasure.
Inspector General Abdulhakim Idris. Remember to check out his book as well. We'll put a link in the description. And Jazakumullah khairan for attending. And Jazakumullah khairan for you guys watching at home or wherever you're listening to this. Just a quick reminder, if you like this podcast, give it a like and a share. And remember to click that bell notification if you want to be notified and subscribe to for any future uploads. Without further ado, I'll let you get on with the hard work and activism now of spreading awareness for our brothers and sisters' plight. Jazakumullah khairan for Islam 21 from Islam 21C. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Unscripted.